One of the best skills in life you can learn is to have resilience, whether it be physical resilience or mental resilience, whatever it is, just being able to tank a hit and not retaliate, just get hit and still be standing and still be you. Being able to do that is a very, very incredible skill to learn. Now, I'm going to use a really dumb analogy to elaborate on my point. I play a lot of hero shooters. I play tank. Now, that may sound really stupid, but the concept is somewhat similar, and I'd like to elaborate on it a little further. The whole point of playing tank in Overwatch or Marvel Rivals is that you are the front line. Not only are you taking damage, a lot of damage, but you're taking a lot of the more unsavory parts of the game. You're taking it. You're tanking it. You're dealing with it, and you do so without falter. In Overwatch, you're being hit with sleeps, boops, anti-nades, or whatever. In Marvel Rivals, you're getting hit with sleeps, boops, anti-nades, whatever. And in today, in my real life, I'm still struggling with my substance abuse. It's not as severe as I'm making it out to be, but tonight I'm going to just tank what I have and just get rid of it. I was talking with my father. He's going to condemn what I'm about to say, but I was talking with him at dinner. I was telling him how I have struggles with eating, sleeping without being under the influence of weed, and that I only have so much left, and I'm trying. I can't just have it and not use it because then I'll just cave. I've talked about it before. I've tried to just do that and just hide it, but I'll cave. I know who I am. And I don't just want to throw it away because I hate wasting things. So tonight, I was telling him, I'm like, I need to just like use what I have and then I'll just be done. I won't buy anymore. That'll be it. And he's like, well, why don't you just take all of it right now, like when you get home, and then just be done? And he said that as a joke, but I thought about it for a second, and I didn't think that was that bad of an idea. Because I'm gonna go back to the video games. I'm kind of mentally used to just tanking hits for the greater good. I understand that if I were to do this right now, I can just get rid of it, have it all be done. All I have to do is just tank the night, tank the hit and keep moving forward. Sometimes you have to solo tank Magneto while your team runs 3 DPS, Ultron, and Shark, and you just have to do that. I think this is one of those moments in life where I just have to tank this hit, intended, I guess. I have to tank this hit in order to come out on the other side a better man. You know, the whole the whole concept here is to just get rid of all of it. So I don't even like, even if I have the urges to use again, I don't have any more. And I've kind of already come to terms with my finances to where I wouldn't buy more, not because I don't have the money, but that I'm using my money more wisely. I've spent the last month or two like recalibrating all my subscriptions, trying to find cheaper alternatives. I used to spend $20 on a 40-pound box of cat litter. Then I found a cheaper brand for like 12 something, and that's maybe $7 I'm saving a month just on cat litter. I use examples like that, learning to pirate software so I don't have to pay for it, using cheaper alternatives, whatever. I'm learning to save my money and use it more effectively. Savings account, Roth IRA, that kind of stuff. So I feel like once I just get rid of this and I just get it out of my system, I just take one night. I just and it's not an exuberant amount to where I'm in danger, or anything. And this is like maybe 3 or 4 times as much as I usually take. Not that bad. Not that bad. Now, why am I telling you this? Frankly, didn't have a lot happen today. Wanted to talk about something. Needed something to talk about. This is a good example. But I really wanted to delve into kind of the concept of just being the person to just bear the weight of certain scenarios. I know of this specific one that I'm talking about with my candies here. It isn't that bad. There's no other participants. It's only me against myself. But I mean in scenarios in which, let's say you're in school and you're doing a class project, and let's say it's you don't get to choose who's in your group. You just have to deal with whatever the teacher assigns. I remember I had to do that a lot, just deal with morons who I couldn't choose. And I ended up doing a majority of those projects because I knew that I just had to do it. Not that not that bad, but I had to bear the weight. I had to just tank the hit of me having horrible fucking classmates. I had to tank that hit and just do it. Just do the work despite having to do extra, despite having to tank that hit. I just do the work anyway and get it done. There's something to be said about people who are willing to stand in the front lines and literally just bear the weight of the world in order for those around them to have an easier time. I'm going to go back. I'm actually going to go right back to that video game example. In games like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, when you absorb and just when you get hit by these certain abilities like sleeps, anti-nades, boops, whatever, you have the ability to tank those hits. And once you do, your teammates are allowed to have an easier time playing the game because they don't need to worry about those abilities hitting them. If I'm playing Winston and I have a dive team and I'm playing with a Genji and we're going in on the Ana and she hits me with a sleep, I know that my Genji can go in and just kill her because she doesn't have sleep. You know, I I am willing to sacrifice my own gratification of getting the kill so my teammate can, for the greater good of us winning that round, if that makes sense. If I were like, I remember it was always my science classes. Before I was like all my science classes before I was in physics, I always had like classmates who just didn't want to do the work. And no matter how much I cried and I whined, teacher, teacher, make these kids do their work, it didn't matter. And I would end up just doing the project, knowing that I did what needed to be done so everyone could just go home, if that makes sense. Everyone could go home, everyone gets the grade, everyone leaves. I didn't hold a grudge. I didn't say, "Oh, these guys are not doing their work. I they don't deserve the grade." That's just not who I am. You know, I'm not gonna put other people down just because I feel like they deserve it in that sense. But I did the work. I took the hit of people not trying, people not doing their work. I did the extra work. I took the hit. I tanked it so that we could all just get the grade and we can all move on and all go home. Tonight, I'm going to get fucking blasted out of my mind and then it'll be done. It'll be done. It'll be over with. I will have tanked it for the greater good and then we can all go home and we can try to restabilize my body to where I don't need substances to sleep. I don't need substances to eat. I don't need substances to be able to be social. I'm hoping that after tonight, I will be able to just live normally and not have to rely on my gummies and my chocolates in order to feel normal. I'm willing to tank this hit, tank whatever I'm about to do in order for the greater good. That's just who I am. Thank you.